Hello, welcome back to What's the Word? This is Paula, your host of the show. I am so little bitty, but actually, let's go in really quick to our camera view, if it'll let me. That's my house, some drinks. There we go, camera view. Oh, portrait. Yay, so now you can see me. This is actually a first for me. I did want to show you some deliciousness because the Bible talks a lot about eating. So I'd like to share a meal with you. I have some, that's the lighter for my candles. I got my candle burning. So my potato soup. Oh, so delicious. I made it last night. And I have some chips, which I made garlic bread last night with it. So today I'm just gonna scoop and eat some chips and share a meal with you. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is that you're eating as well. If you want to pull up some food and let's have a meal together because like I said, the Bible does say a lot about the eating together and how even God in our last chapter was eating with, watching them eat and drink. Right now I do have just some water. I don't really like purified, but at the moment I haven't got the chance to go to the grocery store. So I'm just here. I'd like to share a meal with you as we read into the Bible, and we're going to read the Tabernacle. I believe we're going to do chapter 26 and 27 today. So I'm so excited to spend time with you as always, because I love you and God loves you, and we're just here as a church, right? It's church. It's Sunday, November 3rd, and nothing else better to do today than spend time with you and God and enjoy this. This is the first time. I love making soup, but I usually make like a same thing without the potatoes and more with macaroni and red sauce. But this is, and it's less heartburn. So we're going to read the footnote on the tabernacle, and then we're going to get into the plans for the tabernacle, as well as plans for the altar of burnt offerings and plans for the courtyard, as well as light for the tabernacle. So let's get into it. Thank you for spending time with me today. I love you and God loves you. And let me just go back to the Bible because I know that this is going to shut off and you're going to see my home screen. So, see, told ya. So back to the Bible, and we'll read our footnote before we get into our friend reading while we eat. I really hope that I'm not crunching these chips because they are kind of crunchy, but OMG, this is the delicious meal, and I really hope that your meal is just as good. And tell me what it is that you like to eat. I'm usually a steakaholic, but I cleaned out my fridge and freezer yesterday, so I just trying to cook up some of that hamburger that I got frozen, and like I said, I haven't had time to go to the grocery store, so pretty much hamburger and little steak cubes is all I have in there. I do have some linguiça and hot dogs in the deep freezer because I am still trying to open my hot dog and sausage cart, and I cannot, I just can't find a commentary. I'm working my booty off to try to find one, and maybe I'm not working hard enough. I'm not asking the right people the right questions. I'm not exactly sure. But what I do know is I love you and God loves you, and we're going to get right into it. So we're not going to do, because, today is the same day. We have the same day. It was just another video. Like I said, I tried 3 or 4 times to get through chapter 24 and 25. So I would like to get on to chapter 26 and 27 as well, or 26, anyways, I'd like to get on to some more chapters. I'd like to get through this Bible. And like I said, I have some goals. We have, I believe 279 videos as of now. 279. This is the one I just posted. If it works. your videos. Yay! 19 minutes ago. So I went, like I said, to just get some food and some drinks and want to share some time with you. And I hope that I don't get the copyright thing, because I did state that I do not have the rights to that video. I literally just shared a TikTok video with you, and see the copyright. I have 2 views 11 days ago, and it restricted because I don't know why. But I did want to, like I said, share who I am and me explaining my life and my views after showing my Facebook page. Because I had to do that. Like I said, my oldest and youngest daughters, I have 4 of them, but my oldest and my youngest are like bashing me and talking a lot of stuff that they know nothing about. So again, I'd like to share this video as far as, please help me with a lawyer, somebody who will fight the state of Massachusetts, because our wrongful termination and taking of our children. Baby daddy he's willing to pay for it. We can't afford $1 million, so I don't know what it is. I've been looking for pro bono because I can't afford anything. With my husband, I was able to afford a little bit, so I was trying to look, but now I can't afford anything. But again, I'm just looking for our truth to come out. I want to know, like I said, when I was in DSS, they know that we were wrongfully, it was wrong what they did. So, I'm just looking for help for that. So we're going to read the footnote for the tabernacle. Why is the Bible not loading? All right, maybe let's clear. It's a frozen. Clear, and clear. Now. Why isn't it loading? OMG, what is going on? Very strange. I can't read the Bible without the Bible app, right? Why aren't you loading? While we're waiting for that to load, hopefully it does load. If not, we're going to have to do this little tiny thing, and I will read my best. Probably only the 1 chapter, but we'll read into the tabernacle, even though that kind of defeats the purpose of having a meal with you, right? It can't talk and eat at the same time. So let's try to maybe close it out again. I have the Wi-Fi off because I can't turn it off, because then my camera will turn off, right? Let's see. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Okay, so back to the Bible. There we go. Okay. So, God instructed the people of Israel to make a special tent, right? It's a special tent that would serve, let's turn that just a wee little bit. That would serve as the focal point of Israel's worship. The idea was that the people would carry the tent with them on a journey to the promised land. When they set up the tent, when they set up camp, they would put the tabernacle right in the center, signifying, there we go. When your words just won't come out. Signifying that God was in the midst of the people. The tabernacle was surrounded by the courtyard where the people gathered, and the tent itself was divided into 2 parts by a curtain. The main section was called the Holy Place, and the innermost area was Most Holy Place. So we have the Holy Place and the Most Holy Place. the Holy of Holies. Holy of Holies. Only the high priest was allowed to enter the ladder. And only on the Day of Atonement. See Leviticus chapter 16, which is our next chapter. The tabernacle, the next book, not the next chapter. Our next chapters are 26 and 27, but the next book is Leviticus after we are done with Exodus. So, the tabernacle furniture included the wash basin and the bronze altar of the burnt offering in the courtyard. The gold incense altar, the gold lampstand, and the table of the bread of God's presence in the holy place. And the Ark of the Covenant was its cherubim cover and in the most holy place. Each of these represents different aspects of God's presence and the covenant he had made with Israel. The tabernacle was also equipped with various items for offering the sacrifice and sprinkling the blood of the sacrificial animals, such as sprinkling bowls, ladles, forks, and shovels. Censers were also used for the offering incense and carrying burning coals. It says, see also the tribes and the tabernacles, page 154, which we'll get into. We're on page 96 and 97. So that'll be a little bit further down in the chapter. It'll be actually in Leviticus. Oh, no, is it? It looks like it is in Leviticus chapter. Is it 54? Oh, no, Numbers. It is the first and second chapters of Numbers. Tabernacles and the tribes in the tabernacle. So it sounds like a church that they carried in a tent. And the Ark of the Covenant, like you said, and the bread of the presence of God. And granted, this is not bread, but it is unyeasted, unleavened bread, tortilla chips. I love tortillas. Tortillas is delicious. So let's get into the plans for the tabernacle, because it sounds really, really good. Just one little nibble. Oh man. Delicious. I hope you're eating your food. I just want to tell you real quick. So I fried some onions and garlic. I used a lot of pans yesterday, so I had a lot of energy. It was really sad because, like I said, November 1st was my kid's father's birthday, and he called me drunk and crying and distraught with his wife, actually, and she didn't apparently believe him about what we're going through right now. So I gave him a lot of advice. So yesterday I said if I give him all this advice, I have to take it for myself as well. So I got some energy yesterday and I cleaned as much as I could in my house. And I cooked some food that I've been craving and wanting for a long time. It wasn't too hard, but I did use a pan for frying 2 pounds of hamburger, a pan for frying some garlic and onions, and then the soup pan. So there's a lot of pans going on, and then, you know, the dishes for our eating and enjoying the food. Literally the best soup I've ever made. Oh my god. The best soup I ever made. So I had some frying the hamburger, and then I threw in the big pot some bags of frozen mixed vegetables, and then I cut, peeled. I peeled and diced and chopped some potatoes, and then I had some Alfredo sauce and some basil and parsley sauce. I don't know what it was. It was like a green sauce usually that you put in some noodles. And mix it all in a pan with some water, a bunch of salt, bunch of seasonings. And like I said, I made some garlic bread with just some butter and some garlic and parsley seasonings. Oh, man, it was so delicious yesterday. And today, so good. And then I threw some pepper jack cheese and some taco cheese. Oh, it's delicious. Bon appetit. Sorry, but so good. All right, now we're gonna get into plans for the tabernacle, why we enjoy our meal. There looks like there is some footnotes, but as long as it's measurements, that's what you've been seeing. I'm not reading the measurements because you can see them for yourself. We'll read that one, I guess. But if it's measurements, I'm not reading those just because you can see it for yourself. You don't need me to read it. Also, the footnotes, you kind of really maybe don't need me to read it, but I do. You know, the whole point of this is to communicate and to learn for each other. All right, so here we go. Love you. Let's listen.
Exodus chapter 26. Plans for the tabernacle. Make the tabernacle from 10 curtains of finely woven linen. Decorate the curtains with blue, purple, and scarlet thread and with skillfully embroidered cherubim.
So that must be very beautiful. Tabernacle, right? That's what we call a church right now, is a tabernacle, right? He said, make it from 10 curtains.
These 10 curtains must all be exactly the same size, 42 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain. Then join the other 5 into a second long curtain. Put loops of blue yarn along the edge of the last curtain in each set. The 50 loops along the edge of one curtain are to match the 50 loops along the edge of the other curtain. Then make 50 gold clasps and fasten the long curtains together with the clasps. In this way, the tabernacle will be made of one continuous piece.
I feel like that is a significance as well, right? So 50 gold clasps and fasten the long curtains together with a clasp. And this way, the tabernacle will be made of one continuous piece. Though the body is many, we are all one. I feel like that is a significance to this, made of one continuous piece.
Make 11 curtains of goat hair cloth to serve as a tent covering for the tabernacle. These 11 curtains must all be exactly the same size, 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. Join 5 of these curtains together to make one long curtain.
So it's the same thing that we just listened to, right? Same thing, except for now it's adding the goat hair, right? So 42 feet long and 6 feet wide, and this one's 45 feet long and 6 feet wide. And then it's 10 curtains, and then these are 5 of these curtains to make one curtain. Double over the 6 sheet at the front, so it is 5 and 5, which makes 10, right? So this makes an overlap of one of them.
And join the other 6 into a second long curtain. Allow 3 feet of material from the second set of curtains to hang over the front, the sacred tent. Make 50 loops for one edge of each large curtain. Then make 50 bronze clasps and fasten the loop to the long curtains with the clasps. In this way, the tent covering will be made of one continuous piece. The remaining 3 feet of this tent covering will be left to hang over the back of the tabernacle. Allow 18 inches of remaining material to hang down over each side, so the tabernacle is completely covered. Complete the tent covering with a protective layer of tanned ram skins and a layer of fine goat skin.
So what is with the goat skins, right? Goat hair, goat skins. He sacrificed bulls and sheeps, and he uses the goats for their hair and their skin. Goat leather, right?
Leather. For the framework of the tabernacle, construct frames of acacia wood. Each frame must be 15 feet high and 27 inches wide, with 2 pegs under each frame. Make all the frames identical. Make 20 of these frames to support the curtains on the south side of the tabernacle. Also make 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame, with the pegs fitting securely into the bases. For the north side of the tabernacle, make another 20 frames with their 40 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. Make 6 frames for the rear, the west side of the tabernacle, along with 2 additional frames to reinforce the rear corners of the tabernacle. These corner frames will be matched at the bottom and firmly attached at the top with a single ring, forming a single corner unit. Make both of these corner units the same way. So there will be 8 frames at the rear of the tabernacle, set in 16 silver bases, 2 bases under each frame. Make crossbars of acacia wood to link the frames, 5 crossbars for the north side of the tabernacle and 5 for the south side. Also make...
What is with the acacia wood as well? Right? Because when he was making the Ark of the Covenant, it was acacia wood covered in gold. And now these crossbars and certain other things that it was saying is made from acacia wood as well. Let's see what acacia wood is. Ooh, look how pretty. And that's what God is telling them to make. Kind of looks like, ooh. It kind of looks like a pine tree, right? And especially in Africa and Australia. Ooh, I love it. Look how pretty. Extremely durable wood. So pretty.
We'll make 5 crossbars for the rear of the tabernacle, which will face west. The middle crossbar, attached halfway up the frames, will run all the way from one end of the tabernacle to the other. Overlay the frames with gold and make gold rings to hold the crossbars. Overlay the crossbars with gold as well.
More gold. Again, I think significance with gold. Lots and lots of gold in the Bible and God.
Set up this tabernacle according to the pattern that was shown on the mountain. For the inside of the tabernacle, make a special curtain of finely woven linen, decorated with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and with skillfully embroidered cherubim. Hang this curtain on gold hooks attached to 4 posts of acacia wood. Overlay the posts with gold and set them in 4 silver bases. Hang the inner curtain from clasps and put the Ark of the Covenant in the room behind it.
Sorry. So overlay the posts with gold and then set them into silver. Gold and silver. And again, hang the inner curtain from clasp and put the Ark of the Covenant or the Ark of the Testimony, which we've just read, into the room behind it. The curtain will separate the holy place from the most holy place. Ooh.
This curtain will separate the holy place from the most holy place. Then put the Ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of the Ark of the Covenant inside the most holy place. Place the table outside the inner curtain on the north side of the tabernacle, and place the lampstand across the room on the south side. Make another curtain for the entrance to the sacred tent. Make it of finely woven linen and embroidered with exquisite designs using blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Craft 5 posts from acacia wood. Overlay them with gold and hang the curtain from them with gold hooks. Cast 5 bronze bases for the posts.
So this one is gold and bronze. But can you imagine, like, I'm trying to vision this. This is what I love about reading or having the any books read to me, is the envision of what it is that you're seeing. This is the most beautiful tabernacle, the most beautiful place that I've ever seen. Blue and purple and scarlet. Oh, so beautiful. And embroider them. What do you think they used? They didn't have an embroidery. How did they embroider them? They embroidered them by hand. Can you imagine how long it took them to make this tent of gold, this tent of glory to God? Oh man, it's so beautiful. Oh man, and finely woven linen and embroider it with exquisite designs. What kind of designs do you think would be exquisite to God? Oh man, it's so gorgeous, right? Oh my gosh, can you envision this? Because, I'm seeing a very, very beautiful place. Very, very beautiful place. One of the prettiest churches. And I like to say the tabernacle is a church because he said this is the holy place and the most holy place, and only the high priest can go there, which I think is where the Catholic Church comes up with the whatever it is, that the confession booth, right? Because it's more of a little curtain. I've never been in a confession booth. I'm only going off movies and stuff, but they separate the people with a little window with a curtain, right? So it's literally a curtain in the middle that the high priest or the priest of the church is on one side and the other person is on the other side. So it's separated. And I feel like that's sort of what God is talking about in here. Similar, that when the high priests go to the most holy place, they are they're the, like Moses was for everybody else, the I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but the person that goes to God on behalf of somebody else, like Moses was, right? He went on to God on behalf of many people, right? And only God only told Moses that he was allowed to be in front of them. And even when they did go in front of him, he told them to go back down and to Moses to go up to the high place for the 40 days and 40 nights. So he had a lot of gold, silver, and bronze. And can you imagine? Oh my God, I want to see it so bad. Like I said, I wish the Bible was a picture book. There is some books that have the pictures in it, and especially the babies, little kids books, they do have pictures in it. But I just loved it. I wanted to see the real thing. Like, I want to see this envision that God is telling them. And can you imagine? Oh, it's so gorgeous. All right, so that is chapter 26, and now we're on 27, which is the plans for the altar of the burnt offering, plans for the courtyard, and a very small verses, looks like maybe about 4, for the light for the tabernacle. And we're going to continue while I finish my soup and crackers, or soup and chips.
Exodus chapter 27. Plans for the altar, a burnt offering. Using acacia wood, construct a square altar 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. Make horns for each of its 4 corners, so that the horns and the altar are all one piece. Overlay the altar with bronze.
Horns. Right, it's not there yet. Horns. Ooh, keep that in mind while we read on.
Make ash buckets, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans, all of bronze. Make a bronze grating for it and attach 4 bronze rings at its 4 corners. Install the grating halfway down the side of the altar under the ledge. For carrying the altar, make poles from acacia wood and overlay them with bronze. Insert the poles through the rings on the 2 sides of the altar. The altar must be hollow, made from planks. Build it just as you were shown on the mountain. Plans for the courtyard. Then make the courtyard for the tabernacle, enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, make the curtains 150 feet long. They will be held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. Hang the curtains with silver hooks and rings. Make the curtains the same on the north side. 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. Hang the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard will be 75 feet long, supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end of the courtyard, the front, will also be 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance will be on the east end, flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side will be 22.5 feet long, supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side will also be 22.5 feet long, supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. For the entrance to the courtyard, make a curtain that is 30 feet long. Make it from finely woven linen and decorate it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. Support it with 4 posts, each securely set in its own base. All the posts around the courtyard must have silver rings and hooks and bronze bases. So the entire courtyard will be 150 feet long and 75 feet wide, with curtain walls 7.5 feet high, made from finely woven linen. The bases for the posts will be made of bronze. All the articles used in the rituals of the tabernacle, including all the tent pegs used to support the tabernacle and the courtyard curtains, must be made of bronze.
So it sounds like the courtyard is like I said, the whole tabernacle is like the Catholic Church where we have the confession booth and that. So the courtyard sounds like it's the church part of it where they have to put the curtains and everything to go around, you know, or in front of it as the entrance into the tabernacle, right? And again, bronze and beauty, right? Bronze and beauty, so pretty. So we're going to get for the light of the tabernacle, and then we're done for this chapter as well. Excuse me.
Light for the tabernacle. Command the people of Israel to bring your pure oil or pressed olives for the light, to keep the lamps burning continually. The lampstand will stand in the tabernacle, in front of the inner curtain that shields the Ark of the Covenant. Aaron and his sons must keep the lamps burning in the Lord's presence all night. This is a permanent law for the people of Israel, and it must be observed from generation to generation.
So this means that we're supposed to be doing this right now, the light of the tabernacle. Command the people of Israel to bring you pure oil of pressed olives for the light. So olive oil, obviously. Which I didn't know, like olive oil for burning, right? We use it for cooking or whatever, but olive oil for burning the light, which keep the lamp burning continually. Lampstands will stand in the tabernacle in front of the inner curtain that shields the Ark of the Covenant, right? The inner curtain that shields the Ark of the Covenant. Aaron and his sons must keep the lamps burning in the Lord's presence all night. And this is a permanent law. So I'm not sure, is it like a continuous thing? Is it a continuous thing? Is it every night, all night? Or is this just the one night, right? So it's a permanent law for the people of Israel. And it must be observed from generation to generation. So this is Hebrew. In the tent of meeting outside the inner curtain, this is the front of the testimony, right? So the tabernacle testimony, and I feel like that's where it comes in as well, because where do you give your testimony? In the confession booth, right? You testify and tell the priest what your sin is or whatever, right? Your testimony. And then says see note on 25:16, which is, I think that's where we are. Oh wait, no, 25:16. Oh, way over there, 25:16, which was the Ark of the Testimony, right? We read that a couple chapters back, which, right? So Aaron and his sons must keep the lamp burning in the Lord's presence all night. This is a permanent. So what does the word permanent mean, right? Are we really doing this? Are we burning oil in the presence of God, right? I don't know about that. And it is to be observed from generation to generation. So thank you for sharing our first meal together. I'm so excited. I got to finish my soup. I do apologize if it was a little slurpy and a little crunchy or whatever, but I'm very, very excited that we did get to share a meal together. Nobody eats beautifully, so we'll just leave it at that. Nobody eats beautifully. And I just wanted to share a meal with you because we keep talking about how, you know, the bread is there for God's presence. And even though this isn't technically bread, it's tortillas and soup. It's food. It's nourishment for our bodies. It's spending time with God. It is enjoying company, right? And this is one of my favorite things is since I don't have a family and I can't have a Sunday dinner with, you know, anybody other than my children who refuse to eat. I'm not hungry. I just want to play, right? I'd want to share it with you guys. So thank you for enjoying our soup and chips and some water, burning candles, and I hope you enjoy your Sunday as much as I've enjoyed it with you. I think I'm gonna probably get into a little bit more just because I'm having fun and it's still a bit early and I love spending time with God and I love spending time with you guys. So we went through 2 chapters already. Well, technically 4 chapters, and we'll see how many more we can get through just to spend time together on this beautiful Sunday of November 3rd, 2024. I love you. God loves you. And again, just enjoying time with you, enjoying presence of God, enjoying, I'm done eating because I am so full and it was delicious. So once I upload this one, I will see if I am able to do another one or what the situation looks like. All right, I love you guys so much, and we'll see you back here soon. If I don't record it today, we shall get into it a little bit later. So, mwah, love you bunches. God loves you, and don't forget, subscribe, share, follow, comment, anything. Just get us to there. I love you bunches. See you later. Bye-bye.